We get the question a lot about whether it makes sense to hire a lawyer if it's a minor accident versus a large accident. And really, the answer to this question is that it really depends, because there are going to be some situations where you don't need an attorney, especially if there was no injury that occurred. In most accidents, you're having a situation where there's going to be, a fender bender, maybe a rear end accident, or just a bumper, or the fender is smushed, some slight damage, something that's broken as far as the car is concerned, but there really isn't a main injury there. And in most of those cases, the insurance company is going to be the one that's paying for that damage. And in Michigan, because we're a no fault state, we're supposed to have collision through our own insurance company. So our own insurance company is paying for that damage regardless of who's at fault, even if you're at fault, even if the other driver is at fault. There might be a deductible involved. There could be a number of other things that happen as far as, fixing the car. But in those instances, an attorney really isn't going to be able to do anything for you. When it comes to attorneys, injuries are the important thing. Now, some minor injuries don't really need a lawyer. If you get hurt, you've got some bruising, maybe you're a little bit stiff and sore, but the pain goes away. There's really not much an attorney can do for you in those situations. And in fact, under Michigan law, there's not even a claim. Michigan, because we're a no fault state again, requires that in order to make a claim against the at fault driver, you have to have suffered what's called a serious impairment of a body function. And this basically just means that you have to have a serious injury before you can file a claim for your pain and suffering. And so if your injury gets better really quick and the injury and the pain isn't that bad, there really probably isn't much an attorney can do for you. However, if this injury turns out to be a torn ligament, a broken bone, something wrong with your neck or your back, at this point, it makes sense to contact an attorney. Even if you think that this injury might get better, or maybe even if you think that you can deal with the insurance company on your own, it's probably best to call an attorney. Insurance companies are notorious for giving lowball offers to people who are unrepresented. Even if you have a pretty good injury and it's really laying you up for a long time, insurance companies kind of look at this as an opportunity to save some money because this is their entire business model. And they know that the chances are that you don't know what your case is worth and that you might be desperate. And so if you're injured and it's a serious injury, or even if it's an injury that you think might get better, but it's going to take some time and some intervention, calling an attorney to get an idea of what your claim is worth and whether an attorney makes sense for you is the best policy. That way, when it comes to getting compensation and damages for your pain and suffering, you can make sure you maximize that and get exactly what it is that you deserve.